One. You're now recording officially. Ah,
Awesome. Hello, and welcome back to Ben and Danielle Reviews.
we're getting ready
Everyone,
to talk about some spooky games because it's
yeah,
spooky Halloween time.
yes, I even have my Elvira Mistress of the Dark shirt on.
Oh, very nice. I have my black shirt on
Yeah, that's your,
because that's my standard shirt I wear every day.
oh yeah,
Multiple copies of the shirt. I don't wear the exact same shirt every single day.
hey,
So
that's,
clarify that. All
good,
right.
glad
So
we clarified
real,
that.
real quick before we dive in, Ben, have you been?
I've been okay. It's been a tough couple weeks or so, but I'm hanging in there.
Why has it been a tough couple of weeks?
I'll talk to you about it later.
Oh, okay. It's not something that we're going to talk about on our
Probably
channel.
not on the channel. I'll talk to you about that later on.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been a couple weeks, but I'm hanging in there. Got
Good.
some stuff I've been working on that I'm kind of excited about. But
Good. And work's
yeah,
been busy?
work's been it's been a slow week at work actually.
Hmm.
But
That's too
but
bad.
yeah, but it's a big week for comics this week.
What new and exciting thing came out that you were, well,
So
what new came out that you were excited about?
okay, so Absolute Batman came out this week. That was a really big seller.
And did you read it yet?
I haven't read it yet. I picked up a copy. I have a copy right in front of me here. It's I got the blank cover. So you
Oh,
probably
yeah, I'm like, I thought there would be a comic in there.
yeah. Let's see. But it's got, yeah. So this is, and he's got pointed ears, which apparently he uses to stab people.
Well, I mean, sometimes you got to use what you got. And so
Yeah.
he bought something.
It's a Scott Snyder story. But we sold a lot of copies of that. I managed to pick up the last one that we had on the shelf.
Are you going to
Before.
eventually take it to, are you eventually going to take it to conventions and have them do their signing and stuff on it?
Possibly.
Yeah, that'd be cute. So,
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to try that out. There's been a couple other things I've been reading, but yeah, looking forward to that one.
well, you're going to have to read that and then tell us what you think of it.
All right.
All
Sounds good.
right. So we only have maybe 25 minutes. So we're
All
gonna go
right.
ahead and get into our spooky games. Ben, I'll let you start.
Okay. So you said you had five of them or
Well,
so?
I've got five that I actually can like show you the
Okay.
boxes to.
Sure.
I play some. I recommend some that I don't own, but I play
Yeah.
my play group that I
Okay.
love. So
Great. Okay. So I wish I had it in front of me to show, but first one was All Hallows Eve. It is a game by a friend of ours on the channel, Daryl Davey at Oaken Hollow Games. It is a game in which one player plays as the chaperone, guiding kids from house to house, moving them around town, knocking on doors, trying to get candy. Okay, so one player plays as the chaperone, controlling all the kids, whereas the other players play as monsters, going around the board trying to capture these kids.
and as a chaperone, do you like take the kids' candy or is it you that's not how you play it?
I think you're just in charge of moving the kids around, making sure that they're safe from these monsters and they don't get captured.
Okay, so then as a reward, the chaperone should get some candy as well.
And well, I think the reward is having the kids live past Halloween.
Probably more important than eating candy, but I do like to eat candy.
Yeah. And the kids have some cute Halloween costumes that they're wearing.
Yeah, that sounds cute. And I know you like that one, so I'll have
Yeah.
to check that out because I've been wanting to check that one out. That one sounds cute.
Yeah, we'll have to get you a copy of that. I'll have to
Yeah.
reach out to Daryl and have him see if he can send you one.
And then I can do a little review on it.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
I picked a couple party games, and I don't know if this is really like Halloween per se, but it's called Someone Has Died. Oh wait, I can't get it in the thing. Someone has died.
Okay.
Okay, I guess I don't know where my camera is, I guess. Um, and it's better, it's for 3 to 6 players, and if you have a group of players, it's better. But it's like somebody died, and so somebody's like, oh, look, so and so's died from this accident. And here we are reading their will. And then you go around the table and you have cards that you've got your character card, and then you've got like kind of how you knew the deceased. and you're pretty much trying to get the inheritance or whatever. It's just kind of one of those like kind of silly, fun games that you just are really silly about. Every time I've played this, it's caused a lot of laughter. So I highly recommend it. It's just a fun little party game. And
Um,
since you're reading a will and somebody died, I thought it was perfect time for spooky game time.
okay.
So
And is the tone of that game pretty serious, or is it pretty?
no,
Is it
not
pretty just tongue in cheek kind of?
it's tongue in cheek. It's not even serious at all. And
Okay.
then the idea is to get you kind of being silly about your character. So say Brian died and you're all sitting around talking about Brian. I knew Brian in high school, say he was my mechanic or whatever. I had him in mechanic shop.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to convince the person reading the will that I should get the inheritance. So then I would come up with these amazing stories about why Brian, my high school mechanic, would give me all of his money, type of thing. So
Okay.
it's meant to be funny.
All right. So when people die, all the friends come around trying to get the inheritance money. All right.
Yeah. Or
All
something
right.
to that effect.
Right
Yeah.
on.
I've played it a few times and I always think it's just a stupid, fun little game.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah. Good party
All
game.
right. Awesome.
Yeah. All right. What's your next
So
suggestion?
sticking with the tongue-in-cheek sort of horror theme, I'm gonna go with the Bloody Inn. You familiar with that one?
Sounds awfully familiar.
Okay, so it is a French card game in which you play uh, an 1800s inn. Players play as family members running this inn, and you have guests, travelers that come into town that stay in your inn, and you put them in rooms for the night. And you can get each person has a specific room, and when the customer check out, you get 1 franc for them staying in your room. But also, if you don't want to get the money from them staying in your room, you can also, in the night while they're sleeping, you can kill them off and take all their money.
I,
But
I feel like this game is potentially based on an actual story that took place
yeah,
many, many moons ago.
yeah. But there is a downside to killing people off, though, and that's you have to bury the bodies before the cops come around uh, and looking for them.
This actually sounds like a fun game. And
Yes.
so part of the game mechanic is that you're burying bodies.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you have to build places to bury them too, and you also have to have your other guests. You have to bribe your other guests to join your criminal empire because you can't do everything alone. You can't kill everyone alone. You can't bury bodies alone.
And you probably can't steal all their stuff alone. So not
No.
only are you killing, burying, you're recruiting
Yes.
and then leaving spaces to bury bodies.
Yeah.
It's called the Bloody Inn.
The Bloody Inn.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yes.
have to check that out. That actually sounds like a pretty fantastic game.
Yeah, and you can also uh if you're worried about the cops catching you, you can also recruit them to your side and have them help you kill other
Recruit the
guests.
cops.
Yeah, you can recruit the cops too if you
So,
want to.
so you want to hope that you've got a dirty cop that's going to come knocking on your inn looking
Yeah,
for Betty Sue.
yeah,
Okay, I'm going to
and
check that out. That game actually sounds fantastic. I like that.
it's great. If you can get your copy as soon as possible, because I think that company went out of business, or Asmodee, who was in charge of that, kind of shut
Oh,
that company down. So,
which means it might get kind of pricey if I don't get it
it,
soon.
yes,
Yes. Well, keeping in line of, I guess, tongue in cheek and silly games, I think the one night series are pretty good, and you can either do werewolf or vampire. So, although vampires I think are better for Halloween, but actually no, really they're all good. Vampire, werewolf, and zombies are all good for Halloween. And then this is just like a social. What do they call those social deduction games
yeah,
where you're on
mhm,
you get your little tiles and then you're like, I think that you're the vampire, so I'm gonna kill you or whatever. So you go around the table trying to figure out who's on your team and who you're trying to take down. And there's always
yeah,
like two neutrals. And then I think there's, depending on how many people you play, you can play 3 to 10 people. And the more people you have, the more fun it is, I think. So I like them. They're just quick little
yeah,
games. So for people who don't want to play like an involved board game, these are good to have on hand.
yeah.
And the artworks on them is really cute. So I like them.
Very nice. Yes, and it plays pretty quickly. I think the hardest part is getting everyone on board because it like during the night phase, it just takes one person to open their eyes at the wrong time or whatever. So I
Well,
just have
yeah,
to get
you gotta kind of be careful. And there's an interact, not inter, I don't wouldn't call it interaction, but there's an app that you can put on your phone
a
that then will kind of tell you what to do and when to do it. So if you're actually listening and following directions, you won't open your eyes before you're supposed to.
it's such a great app.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
So, all right, what's next on your list?
So the next one on my list, what so we talked about the Nightmare Productions. So Nightmare Productions is a Reiner Knizia game. It's an auction style game where you are built making a horror movie, making horror movies. You run a production company and you are bidding on different composers and actors and such. And it's a re-implementation of like Hollywood blockbusters and Dream Factory. It's had a few different names, but this one is, I think, the Nightmare Productions, the horror theme is the best one.
Yeah,
And
I would think so with
yeah,
a name like that. But
yeah,
and so you've played it
yes, we played quite a bit of it around the shop.
and
And
you're putting together a horror movie.
yeah, you're putting together some horror movies and you want to either have the best movie or the worst movie. So you want to certain actors and certain music scores and certain locations have a star rating, and that adds to the quality of your movie. And so the higher the star rating, the better the movie. And you can win at the end of the year. You can win all kinds of awards like best movie, a best casting, and such. But you can also win the worst movie as well.
So does that mean whoever has the best movie and the worst movie both win the game, or how do you win the game?
So you win the game by having the most points at the end of the game,
Okay,
and
so
you'll get a certain number of points for having the best movie, and you'll also get points for uh your film scores.
okay. Now, is it possible that the person with the worst movie would have the most points? So potentially the person with the worst movie would win?
Yes, if you have you can get a lot of points from that, but you also want to have other movies because you're going to make more than one movie over the course of the game. You're going
Okay.
to make two or three different movies. So if you make a really really bad movie, you also want to kind of have an also kind of okay movie while also having some money left over because
Yeah.
you do get points for having money left over.
Hmm. That sounds, I
Yeah,
don't think I've heard of that one before. So
it's a cool little game by Reiner Knizia. It's been around for a while, but the horror theme is the new one.
nice. This is a good time for horror for sure.
Yeah.
Um, my next one is Maximum Apocalypse, which I'm sure I've talked about many times on this. I love Maximum Apocalypse. It is a cooperative game, and you have tiles that you lay out, and then as you're playing the game, you kind of flip them over. And you're in a van, and you have a task to do. So either you have to go save the people from that building and then go fill up gas and get food and then get back to the home base before the zombies kill you, or something to that effect. And then each turn, you roll some die, and then depending on, say you roll a 7, you've got all your tiles turned over, and then on the tiles that have number 7s on them, then you have to spawn more zombies. So you could be on like a tile 7, and all of a sudden you've got like 5 zombies on you, and then you got to fight them all off. And there's cards that you use that will give you equipment and that can help you fight the zombies. And I love it. It is a big setup though. So every time I'm like to my game group, I'm like, let's play Maximum Complex. So they're like, we don't have enough tables. And then I have my eyes at them
Hey,
because
bowls.
I know, I'm like, yeah, you have to have enough tables because you have to have a big space. So if you've got like
Okay.
a gameplay area, you're gonna have a challenge putting it together.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
because you add tiles as the game goes. So it's kind of like Betrayal, where you're kind of
Yeah.
building a scene, which Betrayal is another good game. Don't know if I'll have time to get to it though. So yeah, my game group's always like, we need another table. We don't have enough table space. And then I roll my eyes at them and don't get to play my favorite game very often. So
All right.
that's gonna be on my list every year because I love that game.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
we're talking about zombie games then,
Well, just any
I
kind
guess.
of game I
Yeah.
mean, zombies are definitely part of spooky season, I think. I
Yeah.
think I prefer vampires over zombies. But
Sure.
I do love Maximum Apocalypse. And they actually have a role-playing game that goes along with it. Like the game came with a little pamphlet so that you can play a role-playing game.
Yeah.
So one of these days.
Awesome. So my zombie game is going to be Dead of Winter.
Oh, I've never played that. But I have seen that's a longer game, isn't it?
It's a little bit. It's
Yeah.
not too bad. It's probably takes maybe an hour and a half to
Oh, that's not too
play
bad.
it.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. So it's very much like Walking Dead, the board game. Uh, it's a zombie survival game, but you are working in a group and you have characters that you are uh, in control of, and everyone is working together to survive the winter. You need to barricade your location that you're staying at, your like safe house, and from the zombies, so you don't get overrun by zombies. But you also have to have people going out to different places to raid for food because you have to have food to survive and such. But
During the apocalypse, yeah, you would definitely need that. It's cooperative, you said?
it is cooperative, but also it everyone has a hidden objective. So it's semi co-op in the sense of everyone has their own secret objective, and there's no guarantee that everyone is working towards the common goal, but you don't know what everyone's hidden objective is.
And so is there like an overall winner or is it you win as a team?
It could be either one.
Okay.
You have to, in order for you to personally win, you have to fulfill your own personal objective, where a lot of times it will be you need to win with the rest of the group, or you have to you have to complete the objective, but you also have to store X amount of food in your backpack, or you have to store X amount of other supplies, or there will be, uh, or you could have an objective like you need to kill off another character, or you need to watch X amount of characters die. Yeah,
That's kind of like betrayal. You all think
yeah,
you're exploring a haunted house together, and the next thing you know, somebody in your party member is like trying to kill you
yeah.
because something goes awry. Betrayal is another great game, and that's great for every season. But yeah, it's good for this time.
Yeah.
But well, shifting gears from zombies.
All right.
I've only played this game once, but I really liked it. It's called The Hunger.
Okay,
Wish I
Richard
could
Garfield.
figure out how to put it so that everybody could see it better, but hopefully you guys get the idea. It's a deck building game and it lasts 15 turns. And the
Okay.
idea is you are vampires and you're like, oh, I'm hungry. It's nighttime. I need to go eat. So
Mhm.
you go out into the world and you're hunting your prey for food. And you lay the cards out, and obviously you acquire the cards. And then there's that time tracker that goes down up until 15. And the cards move down. So if you have say 3 rows of cards that you can pick from, the next turn you'd go down to 2 and then you go down to 1. And so each time you kind of move cards over. I've only played it once. I loved it and I've been trying to get my game group to play it again. So maybe one of these days, maybe because we're doing October 26th is our Halloween game night. So I'll bring
Nice.
this and we'll play it more and then I'll actually give a full review on it
Nice.
since I
Okay.
only played it one time. But I have to play a vampire game on Halloween.
Okay.
So that's the game I picked.
Awesome. So I've not played this, but I have heard some things about it. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard that with this game, your deck becomes stronger, but as you get closer and closer to the castle, your deck gets weaker.
Well, I don't remember that, but that very well could be because I know that as the clock is running down, because you have to get back to your castle before the sun comes up.
Hmm.
And so there was, I'd have to look to see in the rule book and since, we're on time or whatever. But yes, I can't remember if it's your deck or if it's your character is getting weaker.
Okay.
Because the longer you're out, the sun's coming up. And you know what
Yeah.
happens to vampires when the sun starts coming up
Yes.
and when it comes up? It just never ends well.
Right on. Right on. I don't have any vampire games on my list this time around.
Oh, well, you need to
Yeah.
remedy that next time.
Yeah. I we did talk about Betrayal already.
Yeah, and there's
Okay.
multiple versions
Yeah.
of that. There's so
Yeah.
many different versions of betrayal.
So I won't talk about that one. Instead, I will talk about one of my favorite horror games, and that's Mansions of Madness.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, we played that.
We did twice, I
Uh,
think.
Yeah, we played a couple scenarios of that. It's a HP Lovecraft horror game, and we have the second edition, which has the mobile app, which I think is the best way to play.
That's the
That way, you
one
don't.
we used the
Yeah,
app when we played, didn't we?
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. And that kind of helps tell the story of the game and does all the bookkeeping, so you don't need a dungeon master for it.
Nice.
But yeah,
Yeah. No, that is a good one. That one was
yeah,
fun.
it's probably the most thematic game in terms of horror games that I've played.
Yep.
But it also becomes extremely long at times, and that's the only downside to it, I think.
Oh, you think sometimes it's too long?
Yeah,
Do you think
because
that has to do with the people that's playing the game at the time, or do you think that's just the game just happens to go long?
I think it just happens to go long. So a lot of the scenarios that I think the ones that we played were like 2 to 3 hour scenarios, and it took us probably like 6 hours.
Yeah, that is a long time to play one game.
Yeah,
That is.
and
Uh,
so don't listen to what the app says that the game's going to take. Plan for
take,
twice as long. Yeah,
take at least half a day to play it.
yeah, but it's a great game, and if you have the time to play it, it is a very thematic experience. So if you want to get immersed into a world, into a board game world, then that's the game for you.
And keeping in line with vampires, which it's not a board game, but I like to think that there are some role players that watch our channel. I mean,
Yeah.
we talked about D&D and stuff. But I picked my Vampire Masquerade.
Oh yes.
Yeah, because there is a video game for this I have not checked out that I've heard is pretty fun. But I did a one shot of this like a few years back. I did like a murder mystery story with vampires. I thought it was fantastic. We all had a great. I had a co-DM at the time, and he and I thought I'm like, oh my gosh, we should be doing this like once a month at least because I thought we just worked very well together.
Mhm.
And it was a fun night. We served, which for non-drinkers you could do wine, or I mean you could do like juice. So you could serve then, which is what I did. I'm like, here's some juice for the non-drinkers, and here's some wine for the regular drinkers, and this is our blood that we're gonna be drinking. So, but
Right. Nice.
the premise is you got your different clans of vampires. It's a role-playing game, so you just make up a story, and then you've got you have to make a character sheet. Of course, it uses a D6 system, and then you just play it like you would any other role-playing game. But one of these years, I want to do a one-shot on Halloween and encourage everybody to wear costume, dress up as whatever characters they've created. So
Very cool.
I think that it's a fantastic game. So
Yes.
yeah. So
Awesome.
yeah. Do you have any other games that you?
I do have a list of other ones.
Okay,
Another one that I want to point out is a game called Subterra.
I've not heard of that one.
That is a fully cooperative game where players play as divers in an underground cave, and you are
Have a
trying to.
copy that you could show us because maybe I have played that game.
Um, do I have it in front of me? I think it's downstairs.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But
Well, it's sounding familiar once you started saying that you're a bunch of sea
yes,
divers.
and yes, and you are flipping over you're moving around and you're flipping over tiles, and a lot of time your characters have very limited health and can get knocked unconscious pretty easily, and you have to have players can spend actions to revive characters, but you're trying to avoid these monsters. You're trying to avoid floods and cave-ins, and lots of terrible things happen to you. It's
When you're out
not,
to eat, because you're out.
and you're yeah, and you're trying to find the way out of the cave, which is going to be at the bottom of this huge stack of tiles. So you're going to be going all around this cave trying to find the way out, and you want to try and get as many players out of the cave without going unconscious.
Oh, so you're working together to get everybody
Yes.
out of the
Yeah.
cave. Yeah, I don't know. No, yeah, maybe I haven't played that one. Maybe I've played a different sea related game. It sounded familiar when you started talking about it.
Yeah.
So,
But it's got some like glow in the dark tiles to it, and it's got
like,
and you're rolling dice sometimes to avoid. taking damage from things.
Sorry for all the movement. My dog is being needy right now. So,
Yeah.
I didn't pull out any other games. I'm trying to think of what other Shadowhunters is a good one, but that's out of print and super expensive now, I believe. But that's based on I don't know if anybody's familiar with the TV series that came out, which was actually based off of a book, I believe. But it's the same premise where you're sitting around in a circle and you're trying to figure out, you've got your two neutrals, you've got your monsters, and then you've got your hunters. And you're trying to figure out who is on your team so you don't kill them. And you use that with deductive reasoning by passing cards out. And just kind of seeing the movements that players make. It's not I like it better than the Ultimate series because I like the mechanics of it better. There's actual board that you kind of move your piece around, but it is out of print, so I don't know if I should even be mentioning it. But it's
That's
just
fine.
a game.
I think Subterra's out of print, and I think Bloody Inn's out of print.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to find that Bloody End because it sounds pretty cool.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, I don't know if there's any other games off the top of my head that I can think of right now.
Okay.
I think I've
Yeah.
played. I think I've mentioned most of the ones I love to play this time. Well, any time of year, but most of this time of year.
Okay. I always want to plug Soloween by Play With Us Design.
Now,
Have you played? What's that?
is that the one I played with you where you can mix the Buffy characters or the Addams Family characters?
That's Unmatched,
Oh,
I think.
unmatched. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. So
Yeah.
tell me about this game. I
So,
it's
so it is a little card game. I don't know. I have it back in the corner over there, but it's this little tiny, little like box game, from Taiwan, and it is a kind of like tic-tac-toe. You're making 4 in a row with these little ghost pieces. They're each one is two-sided. There's an orange side and a green side, and you're playing it on one side, and then all of the ones that are orthogonally adjacent to it or flip over to their opposite side, and you're trying to make 4 in a row
oh, that
on
sounds
this.
super cute.
It's really cute game, and it's based on I think it's an anim like a Japanese graphic novel. The
Okay.
art
What's it
is
called again?
Soloween.
Soloing. Okay. That sounds really cute.
It's a cute little a game. It's a little abstract game that's really easy to get into and can be the gameplay can be quite addicting.
Yeah.
And it's on BGA for anyone that wants to try it.
Oh, that's a good place to check it out. And then if you like it, then
Sure.
buy it for
Yeah.
your game group.
Yes. There's also a giant size version of it available, but it's ridiculously expensive. It's a blanket, and the ghost pieces are pillows, like circular pillows.
Oh my gosh, I bet that would be so cute though.
But
But
it's
if it's
like it's probably like $300 US
it's cute, but it's probably
plus.
not. I have to convince myself it's not that cute.
Yeah, and then you have to pay for the shipping to the US.
Oh, and that'll cost more than the game probably
Yeah.
these days.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Unfortunately, like my mini version of the game was sent to me for review by the company. The CEO of Play With Us Design. I've worked with him for a couple years now on promoting his games, and so
yeah,
thankfully, friends of the channel, thank you very much for that.
that's awesome. I
It's a
love it.
very cute game.
Stop it.
Love that.
Right now my dog's misbehaving because I'm not giving him
Oh,
attention.
wow.
I go run an errand and they think, oh my gosh, I've been abandoned.
Yeah,
They act,
for
act out
sure.
when I get home. So, but that's okay. So, all right. Do you have any others on your list?
Yeah, I have a couple ones I wanted to mention. We talked about Gloom last time
I was
we get,
gonna
yes.
I was gonna mention that. Okay, we are
Yeah.
running out of time though, it says so, but
Okay.
keep going.
So I got Gloom. I talk about Horrified pretty much every year, so I don't want to talk too much about that. Also got a Whirling Witchcraft by AEG. It's a game about where you're playing as witches, making uh, po- uh, like
Potion.
potions,
Potion.
and your
What's that one
potion
called?
Whirling Witchcraft.
Whirling Witchcraft?
Yeah.
That made me think of that Quacks game that I can never pronounce that.
Oh, Quaxaquedlinburg.
Yes, I love that game. Um,
Quaxaquedlinburg is cute.
yeah. Okay.
Rolling Witchcraft is a cute game, and it's also on. I think it's on sale right now on AEG's website. They have it like 50% off.
Oh,
If
nice.
anyone wants to pick it up,
Yeah.
it's a cute little game, and it's kind of take that you're trying. Not only are you trying to build up your own like potions, but you're also trying to pass ingredients to your opponents because whatever ingredients you pass to them that they can't fit on their board, they have to throw in their own cauldron. Eventually, they get enough ingredients in their cauldron. Cauldron explodes and you win the game.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out. That sounds
It's a
really fun.
and the art's pretty cute too.
Yeah,
And
that
it's got
sounds.
these cardboard cauldrons that are not the most functional, but they're cute.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely check that
Yeah,
out.
definitely. And then also I got Betrayal. And then the last one I put on the list was Mysterium.
Oh, I've played that. That's
Yeah.
your ghost.
Yep.
I've played that a couple times. I remember liking it, and I played it twice, but
Yeah.
with the mechanics in because I it's slipping my mind.
Yeah. So a one person plays the ghost, and they're giving these picture clues of how they were murdered, the who, what, and where, and all these pictures are just abstract art pieces that would never actually be a feasible thing ever. So they're just dream sequences of sorts. I have Tajemnicze Domostwo, which is the Polish version of it, which and I think it's the same artwork. The cards are the same art, but it doesn't have the upgraded pieces, and it doesn't have that like DM screen, which is
Oh
actually kind of functional. Like it actually, the DM screen is actually kind of nice. So I do miss
yeah,
that with that
the
version.
the version that I've played, they had the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
that's a good game. I like that one.
it is fun, and those are the 10 that I have.
Very nice. These I feel like we covered a good amount of games for
Yes.
the rest.
There's more that I could talk about, but yeah,
There's always more, yeah, because
there's
like
always more.
horror games are good.
Yeah.
Pandemic is
There's,
good. Like,
yeah.
yeah, so there's all kinds of games that would be good. But I'm definitely wanting to check out that Whirling Witchcraft. That sounds cute.
Awesome. I will send you some information about that.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
And I am doing Halloween game night on October 26th. So I will,
okay.
oh, and I'm going to be reviewing the Magic Folks chips. And
Awesome.
I'll be reviewing that soon, and then we can always hop on after. Are you doing a Halloween game night?
So I have the 26th is going to be uh, uh does a trick or treat event. It's a sealed event. And
Oh,
so it's a sealed tournament. It's 4 packs of Duskmorn and 2 of the convention mystery packs.
oh,
And then
nice.
you make like a 40 card deck with that, and you compete against other players, and then the prizes are more Duskmorn packs or collector boosters of some kind. And so yeah.
I upgraded an insect deck I have with a couple cards from Duskmore because I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, this will go really well. And
Oh
so,
yeah.
yeah, I didn't buy a whole lot of cards from that set yet, though. But
No
that'll be
worries.
fun. So you'll have so then maybe that week we could hop on and you could talk about how your event went, and then I can talk about how my game night went.
Awesome. Sounds great.
All right. Well, we're probably going to run out of time, and so I
Sounds
just
good.
thank you everybody for patience with my animals and with us still trying to figure out how to do all this.
Yes. Thank you everyone for watching this.
Like, subscribe, share the channel, and obviously we'd love to know what you guys are playing for spooky season. So drop a
Yes.
comment. Let's know.
Happy gaming, everyone.
Happy
Have
gaming.
a
Happy Halloween. All right.
good night.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.